Hello, and welcome to this artist talk with Marie LeBlanc for her exhibition, Overdressed. First, I would like to acknowledge that AANM is located on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I would like to introduce the artist of the month, Marie LeBlanc. Marie LeBlanc is a self-taught, multidisciplinary artist. Through photography, multimedia projection, short film, performance, and wordsmithing, she explores themes related to landscape, isolation, beauty, health, and nature, capturing faces, shapes, shadows, and reflections with digital and on-camera effect, often superimposing her own reflection. She seeks to embrace the present moment and the ethereal world around her. Originally from northern Manitoba, she lived in Winnipeg before recently relocating to Alberta. In the winter months, she travels to the US desert in a cargo van adapted for safe housing to ease the symptoms of environmental illness, referred to as environmental sensitivities in Canada. Because the illness remains an unrecognized and misunderstood diagnosis, her work intends to self advocate and bring awareness and excuse me, and bring awareness to related struggles faced by so many. LeBlanc's most important awareness project to date, Who Says We Need Fresh Air, has traveled throughout Manitoba to Edmonton, Jasper, and Arizona. Quotes from individuals across the globe afflicted by environmental illness and projected onto buildings, structures, billboards, screens, and monitors. LeBlanc holds a Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography and Sociology from the University of Manitoba. He participated in the Making Our Mark 2 printmaking mentorship program at Martha Street Studio, the Artist in Residency program at Artbeat Studio, and the Art Salon program at Arts Accessibility Network Manitoba. Her story and artwork have been featured in interviews and articles throughout Western Canada in Quartzsite, QUARTZRSITE, Arizona, and with MCS Aware in the United Kingdom. It was recently awarded microgrants from Mentoring Artists in Women's Art and AANM for the completion of Overdressed. We also have with us Yvette Cenerini. Yvette has been working with Marie as her mentor for the past year and will be conducting this interview with her. Yvette and I will be turning off our screens, so you will hear Yvette's voice as she asks Maurice the question, but we really want you to be able to see just Marie and the interpreter to enjoy this presentation. So Yvette and I will now turn off our videos, and please enjoy this artist talk with Marie LeBlanc.
So Marie.
Hi.
So nice for you to join us from wherever you are in the world. It's so nice to be able to connect this way with video. I'm glad that you're here. Just wanted to talk about your new project, Overdressed. And it's just such an amazing body of work. I really have enjoyed working with you on it, and I just thought maybe you'd like to share what you felt was the most integral part of your work as an artist related to this this series?
Well, the most integral part to my work as an artist in this series, I think, is you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Being in the Art Salon mentorship really helped me a lot. You know, meeting others in the mentorship was very helpful, and seeing work and what other people do, like the connection. And Jenel has been amazing, you know, going back and forth. I'm surprised you guys are still answering my emails. I'm just joking. You guys have been so good. Like I'm always lost, and you guys always help me find a way. And I'm so happy that I received the grant from MAWA and Arts Accessibility Network Manitoba. That really helped me. That's something that really helps me, you know, get ahead. If there's a way I can have, like, you know, funding to do so. And I'm so thankful that I managed to get that.
Okay, well, that's great. Yeah. What's tell us about the project? What's Overdressed all about, and what's the message you're trying to convey through that project?
Well, pretty much everything I do on a daily basis is sort of like a special event. So that's why I've got the dress. Like my, you know, simple tasks, like they seem simple to other people. You know, while I'm in the desert, I'm cooking, doing my laundry with the plunger, you know, all those different things. Actually is like a special event, and it takes a lot of energy out of me and a lot of planning sometimes, because you have to find that spot. Sometimes you have to go, I'm not going to say 10 miles uphill and downhill, but you have to go 10 miles one way to get the water, come back, and it's like, well, that's enough to do a little bit, and then back again. So really, when they used to say they walked 10 miles or a mile uphill all the way, that's kind of similar to this.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, kind of marks the occasion, like that I wear the most precious piece of clothing that I have, which is my blue dress, my blue evening gown, which I accessorize with my what are those boots called?
Your work boots.
That's it, and they definitely are my work boots. And you know, as my boots become worn, my dress becomes a little bit dirtier, and it kind of shows the difficulties. But yes, yet throughout the whole thing, it shows that I've also attained freedom, esteem, and belonging. So I based it on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's kind of based on the theory of human motivation, and it implies that we must meet and satisfy the needs of one stage before hitting the next, like shelter, clothing, air, we got to breathe. And so, and then you're motivated to get to the next stage. Well, somehow I think I've attained it to self-actualization through my art show.
Right. So that's like, so the series of images moves through sort of Maslow's hierarchy, and that's the basis of your project. But can you talk a little bit about why you're in the desert, like what you're doing there, and why you need to work so hard to meet your daily needs?
Okay, thank you. I'm in the desert because it's recommended by my specialist, because indoor housing is intolerable to me at the moment. I'll get things like kidney failure, things like that in indoor housing. It's not so fun. So for me, I purchased a van, and it was like a normal road trek, which had, you know, the bathroom, the shower, all these things. But it took me like 2 years to gut the whole thing, and then use what, I mean, I could tolerate, you know, up to a point to finish the walls. And we're still working on trying to find a way for the shower and a proper bathroom. But hey, you know, there's a lot of land. There's buckets and there's shovels. and you know, I go get water and just, you know, pour buckets, or not buckets, because there's not that much water sometimes. Just, you know, some water in my hair and wash my hair. But yeah, I'm out here, and I find that I can cope better away from like the electricity, perfumes, all the other chemicals. The only problem is like the campfires. That's a challenge. So sometimes, and rats. That's another challenge to keep me up all night. And been a challenge, but you know what? This is what I gotta do.
Yeah, you seem to have very like creative problem solving skills, and I just, that's what I find so interesting about this project, as well as that you're sharing that with us. So have you ever, like, reaction to your work from other from people who've seen your past work? I'm looking forward to see the reaction to this new work, but your past work has some similarities to it. So would you like to, what do people think about what you're doing in the like what you're doing in life and in the desert and in your work?
Okay. Well, some in the past, I have received some emails and messages and comments saying how, especially Who Says We Need Fresh Air, how it really helped, you know, some family understand. And even when people, you know, came to view the show, they would tell me that they know other people and they never understood, and now they understand. And some even said they're even going to go try and find the people that they didn't, to explain they didn't understand, and now they kind of do. I have some where people say it's beautiful, some where I have, like, you know, the image within the image, they say it's really ghostly or breathtaking, or, you know, goosebumps on their skin. One time I had a piece of art in a show and a lady was crying, and then I explained her what the piece was, and, you know, it helped her a lot. A lot of people say that my work is necessary in helping so many. And they said even if you don't see a change now, it'll hopefully, you know, people in the future may be able to see a change. Some people say surreal or dreamlike, and I don't know, just different things.
Yeah, it really is. And then you know, the fact that your work is about self-advocacy, and you're also advocating for others who feel isolated and alone, and misunderstood. And so yeah, I just find that art is such a great visual way to pass on those kinds of messages. And I think that this project is really eye-opening for the MCS community. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, in your artist statement, you mentioned isolation and things like that. And so I can see, and you also mentioned that sometimes it feels like you're living in quarantine. So how do you counteract that loneliness that you must be feeling out in the desert, keeping yourself company?
Well, I'm not, like, I'm used to being alone, so I'm not necessarily lonely. Maybe in the beginning I was, and angry because nobody understood. There were so many things going through my brain at that time. And now it's like I'm so busy in survival mode that there's no time to be lonely. Heck, I got a lot of rats that like to crawl under the van, so I'm not lonely. Trying to get rid of them, and like being in survival mode, and like always trying to find ways. Yeah, what's the next thing I'm going to encounter, and the safety factor. And I keep myself busy by, you know, approaching people in places, trying to see if there's ways to, you know, have policy made so that there's that checkbox for us, you know, in, you know, disability forms or housing, because there isn't, and it's hard for us to have our basic needs met. Sometimes I need more than one of me because there's too much to do. Like, I wish somebody else could caulk the van. But yeah, it's so busy. Another person around would be great, like, you know, for safety, even if you're not hanging out in the day, just safety, because being out here sometimes isn't so safe because you never know who's going to be coming to your van, right. Coming from the desert. And but yeah, I've kept myself busy.
Puts you in a vulnerable position too, when you know, you need assistance from others for certain things. You know, it's just it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, like my van getting fixed.
Yeah. Your van. Yeah, I mean, your van is your livelihood. It's your transportation. It's your housing. It's your home. So it's important for it to be maintained. And sometimes, you get you have to depend on machines, and it's not always the best scenario.
Yeah, and
So
it's broken down a lot.
yeah. So what about are you researching other work, or do you do research for your own artwork? How do you come up with these ideas?
Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I just wondering how you came up with like even just Overdressed. How did you come up with this idea of photographing yourself in a, well, I know you explained the message, but where did the idea, did you run into the dress somewhere and it inspired you to do that, or?
No, well, I just had this idea that I wanted to wear the dress in the desert, and I wanted to do these photos, and I wanted to do something on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But at that point in time, I wanted the basic, necessity about the basic needs and all that. But at that point, I thought, well, I was thinking, well, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs would be like me in front of a cave without a fire because I can't have fire. But anyways, cooking food with
Yeah.
so anyways, speaking with you, and you're like, well, this is like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You're like, I always wanted to do a project like that, and that's what this is. So I did a lot of research after we talked about like even more research on it, and then coming up with the titles. I was going on the internet trying to find those titles, and I think I sent you a page full of titles.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like, it's just like, I guess subconsciously, obviously, I was thinking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Well, I think your lifestyle is just so much about the hierarchy of needs, that it's like the perfect example to work off of. So I saw that right away in your work. And so the dress, did you buy it in a store? Was it gifted to you? How did it find you?
Well, it was like looking on Facebook, trying to find a
Yeah.
dress that wasn't scented, just trying, and I was looking up colors. It seemed like anything that could possibly fit or whatever. This is what I found. And it was scented. And at the time I couldn't really tell because I was already in a something scented that I couldn't tell. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I took it home, and I can't tell you how many times I washed this thing in someone's bathtub and walked on it with my feet because I was tired of washing it in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So I did that like several times, but I wanted to do it where I'm doing things in the desert, normal everyday things, but still wasn't quite sure of the whole theme. And then when you came along and we were in the art salon, like, you just helped me put it all together. It was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just hundreds and hundreds of photographs, and they're all so striking. The blue is so it really it melds into the landscape too, just because it matches the blue of the sky. And the terrain is just so interesting in all the photos, and to see the progression of the train, getting more and more dirty and tired and withered is so interesting. It's nice to see that you're wearing it today for us.
Well, it might be the last time. I don't think I'll ever fit in it again.
Well, it's a good way to end the series for sure. I thought maybe you could give us a little tour of your van and stuff, but thought before we do that, was there anything that you wanted to maybe share for your future works, or what you're interested in pursuing late after this project is completed?
Okay. Well, I'm working on a project of 365 photos, not necessarily exactly days in a row.
Yeah.
But it will be 365. Hopefully that'll be in next year's art show. I'm not really going to say what it is right now. And
Yeah.
I have I would really love to do a documentary, write a book, do a movie, but I need help with that. It's a challenge being on the computer and all that. It would be nice to be able to find help and guidance with that. And I have so many ideas, and I would love to go, like, go across Canada in the van creating awareness, but maybe in a different van. My big dream is I want a different van that I can revamp, and it's not always, sitting on the road with the hood up.
Yeah. Well, I can totally see like a documentary, somebody, a film crew following you around for 7 months or something. Just the adventures and the people you meet and the people you help, and the way that you do things is just so innovative, and could be useful for others who are trying to find their way. So in the photographs series, you're making food with special solar panel machine things. You're washing your clothes with plunger. It's just interesting to see sort of how many things and gadgets and things you can fit in your van for you to be able to survive that way. So I'm really interested in just maybe having a look around to see if you could, would you be willing to give us a little tour of what your space looks like?
Sure, just nobody fall down and hurt yourselves.
Good, we're all sitting.
I don't clean, organize very well. Okay, so I'm gonna take this thing off here and try and change it. Okay, I'm just trying to. Just gotta be wait. Okay, wait.
There we go.
Okay, I have a memory challenge. I had to write answers down.
See,
okay. That's
what I'm talking about, innovation.
Okay, wait, since I'm here, I'll take it to the front. Okay, so all my doors, I had to deal with all the doors, to take everything off. And so I used not Coroplast, but high core, something that another MCS person told me that worked for them, because I just didn't know what to use. So under here, there is stuff coming through the vents. So I had help with that, put an air filter thingy there. And then I really don't know if that screen is helping, but I thought maybe it would help for the electrical stuff coming from the engine or the spark thingies. I'm not very good with words. And okay, so I have fingers in front, sorry. And then
it's good.
So this is this, I think it's called Reflectic. So I covered the whole seat in that because it was so scented. I needed this seat to drive because, as you can tell, the other seat just isn't there and nothing else is. And then the steering wheel, well, I used those emergency blanket things, is like Mylar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did that first, and then I taped it, but then the tape got sticky. So then finally I washed it, one of these things, and then put that on, but there's still room for tape on the fingers. And then then I found some other things, junk things, and then I made a little shelf up there. Mm-hmm. I painted the ceiling with zero VOC paint, and then I'm really bad at caulking, as you can tell, and it still needs to be redone. There's holes there. Hopefully it doesn't leak. Okay, so the back of the van. Oh wait, it's all in place. Okay, so there's my solar cooker right here. So I get that out and I cook. And this is it's lots of fun getting everything out all the time. Okay, and sometimes I do have to off gas things. Just make sure, if you ever do that, when you cross the border, take everything off the handles. Just a little tip. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, so here's the inside. So in the back there, when you saw all that stuff, I actually have a metal shelf, which I actually was hoping to have in here was all metal, but you can see there's not. The shelves are metal, but the rest is plastic, and I haven't figured that out yet. And believe it or not, there is a bed back there. really is. And then I have the filing cabinet, which holds stuff, and I really wanted the filing cabinet to everywhere in here. And there's an auxiliary heater there because at one point I had no heat at all in the van. And then now I kind of have heat, but now all the vents are blocked because I had to block them with all that stuff. And you can see the floor has that high core stuff, and I did all the doors with that stuff. So that's about it. And well, the front seat was there. So
Yeah, well, you needed the room for storage, so yeah.
yeah, and then this up here,
Mhm.
the awning thing didn't work, so I put like a little line kind of thing there, so I hang clothes off there.
Right.
So that's kind of what I did. So there's my van.
Very interesting. Yeah.
It's in an art show.
Yeah, I mean, think about, wouldn't it be interesting if you could just park somewhere, like it could be like a performance, you could just park your van in a park by a gallery and live there for a few days and interact with the communities, is
That'd be cool. That's a
yeah,
good idea.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I was too fast on that. And on the roof, I do have 3 100-watt panels, and the solar has been a challenge. Oh, I forgot to show you. So I do have a cooler, which takes up all my solar, but at night I turn everything, all the electrical off. So during the day I have like a little wee freezer that I freeze out with the 12-volt. I freeze some water or whatever and throw it into the cooler at night so it doesn't thaw. But out here right now when it's like 90 or whatever degrees, it thaws pretty quick. So I do go through a lot of food sometimes, especially when the solar wasn't working.
Wow.
Thank you so much for showing us that, Marie, and Yvette for conducting the interview.
Thank
I
you.
apologize. My little puppy wanted to be on camera. He's
yes.
being ignored. So
Awesome. More the merrier.
exactly. I would like to thank everyone so much for joining us for this interview, and you can see the full exhibition online at aanm.ca. All you have to do is look for online exhibitions, and you'll find Marie right at the top. Thank you again, everybody.
I wanted to thank Arts and Accessibility Network of Manitoba so much for all your help, and especially Yvette for all her help and going back and forth with the emails and all her help with looking through the millions of photos. She's been, I can't even say how much you've helped me, Yvette. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. And I want to also thank my friend Paul Turgeon, who also helped with a lot of this and sharing photos and figuring it all out because I was having technical difficulties. And did I thank Mawa? I think I did, for the grant and Arts Accessibility Network, and Christina for signing, and and any of the other people who have helped me along the way with being my human tripod for some of the photos. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the art show. Thanks.